Hi fans of high quality entertainment. I'm wearing this disguise because I feel a little guilty. I'm going to be talking about my criminal past. Now, I've told this story before, but it's been a few years since I've told it. And, you know, I'm always getting new viewers, so I hope you enjoy my story, my true story. So I think through the years of my life, overall, I've been an honest person. I've never, you know, tried to rip off friends or anything. Brothers, that's a that's a different subject matter. But yeah, I think, you know, when I was a little kid and a teenager, I was a good person. But even good people can sometimes go off their path a bit and into the world of criminal activity. So I would say that the first and last time I ever stole anything in a store, it was just a convenience store, local convenience store. I was on my way to school. I had my lunch bag with my sandwich and whatever else, apple and drink. And I saw this chocolate bar. It looked pretty good, but I didn't have any money to buy it. So I just kind of, I think I was in grade 4. So I kind of look around a bit and then just casually put the chocolate bar in my lunch bag and then just casually walk out of the store. Unfortunately, the owner of the store watched me do the whole thing. And yeah, I was caught. He didn't call my parents or anything, but I felt so, you know, of course, so guilty and bad that I was caught. But it was a good thing I was caught because they probably, you know, if I'd gotten away with it, I'd probably go for a bag of chips next time. So that was good that I was caught, and I never did steal anything from a store again. Now, there's the time I didn't pay for a meal. Downtown Trenton, there was this drugstore called Ireland's, and they would have this little restaurant on the side, which was, you know, very good. And me and my friends would go there probably almost every week. And one time, I don't know what it was, I was probably like 17 years old. I should have known better. But whatever I had, you know, burger and fries and a drink. And when I was done, I got up and I walked out. I don't know if I might have even ran out. I never paid for it, but I felt stupid afterwards, of course, and my friends were shocked that I did that. But I never did, like I said, I never did that again. So any of you young people watching, don't steal. And don't warp vinyl records and take them back to the record store saying that they were warped when you warped them. So yeah, before I get into the vinyl record story, my mom and dad were just great people, you know. I was lucky to have great parents. And almost every Friday they would get together with neighbors and they would play Remoli, a card game, and they would use pennies. So my dad would have this big can of pennies, like a large can, up in the cupboard. Well, one day I was hungry and I didn't have any money as usual. So I started thinking, hey, those pennies, they're worth money if I took them to the store. And so I did. And I got a nice big bag of potato chips and whatever else. I just had one heck of a fun day. But then Friday came, and my mom and dad were gonna be playing Remoli with their friends, And, you kind of don't think ahead. And so my dad was pretty, let's just say he was pretty peeved that all of the pennies were gone. And I don't even know if I admitted to doing it, but they obviously knew it was me. Who else would it be? One more thing, we had this, I know I'm going to jail after telling all these stories. We had this large garage and, store things in it. And my friend Gary, my older brother Bob, he and his girlfriend at the time, who's his wife now, they had brand new skates hanging up. I think they had 2 pairs. His and hers. And then there was this really nice rocking chair from my other brother that he was storing in the garage. Well, I was getting hungry again for some chips and pop. So I sold the rocking chair to my friend Gary probably for like $5. He happily took it, even though he knew it was my brother's rocking chair. And the skates I probably sold for like not even $10. But, and then, afterwards it's like, where are my skates and all that? And I'm innocent. I don't know. Gee, your skates are gone? Somebody must have broken into the garage. So yeah, the final one is vinyl records, going to WOOLWORTH'S. We would do this every week, me and 2 of my friends. And I kind of forget how we did it, but whatever we did, it was a good system, and we did it for a few months. So we would buy, I think we would buy a cutout bin record. No, see, it's kind of confusing. We buy a good album, right? That's it. So it'd be like $10. And then we'd buy a cutout bin record also at the same time. And we would switch the stickers, so that cutout bin record that was worth 50 cents or $1 was instead worth $10. And we would damage it in some way. We'd put a little scratch on it, nothing too crazy. Or we would warp the vinyl record. Sometimes we would vacuum the vinyl record. Anyway, here's a little clip showing you, the viewer, the process that we did for warping the vinyl records. Enjoy. So I'm in my kitchen. So stop your bitching. Thank you. And I'm gonna reenact the one thing, there were different ways that we would damage a vinyl record so we can take it back to WOOLWORTH'S and either get a replacement, a much better album, or get the money for it. So I'm using this good-looking man here, Sonny James, using his vinyl record here, which cost me $1. And so one thing, like I said, one thing we would do is we'd get a knife and we would just a little tiny scratch. We wouldn't make it too obvious, but when we would, return these vinyl records, we wouldn't be very happy. There's a scratch on this record. I want my money back. And so another thing we did is we would warp the records, because if you buy a vinyl record and it's warped, you can get your money back or get a better album. So here we go. So we would put the burner on high, and sometimes it would actually be a decent record that we're doing this to. So you would want to make sure you don't totally wreck it. You don't want to over warp your record, because no store, not even Woolworth's, is going to believe you. So here we go. And just wait. Sort it. Okay, it's starting to warp. That's good. That looks, look at that. Look at that warped record. I want my money back. But the thing is, there were 2 or 3 times where we would overheat it and we'd have to throw the stupid vinyl record out and start over. Sometimes being a criminal isn't even worth it. So yeah, we had that system, so we would return, an album that didn't cost us much with, moving the tag so it's a more expensive record, and we either get the money back, or usually I think we would just get another album, right? It usually wouldn't be cash, but sometimes, if I was hungry again for a bag of potato chips, I'd take the cash. And then just one day, I think they finally caught on, but luckily we stopped just in the nick of time, or I could still be in the slammer today. So I apologize to Woolworth's. This was over 50 years ago. You can't arrest me now, I don't think. So that's it. Have a great day. Bye.